Shalom. Call Haloyamla Yahapwa, Bahasham Yahapushai, Bahasham Racha Kodash, Brakata Yahapwa, Brakata Yahapushai, Brakata Racha Kodash, Bahasham Yahapushai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elders in Akim and Akwath. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video entitled Biden Bucks Order 14067, aka C-Day. So right here, the title of this article on naturalnews.com. I'll leave the link to the article in the description. It says here, Biden planning to protect us from cash beginning December 13th. So now we know that coming here, today is September 3rd, 2022. So that's literally 3 months and 10 days from going into effect. So as basically, whenever Esau say he has a solution, that he's coming with a problem solving solution, know that he's coming to destroy. Just ask the Native Americans and everyone else throughout the four corners of the earth that he's destroyed in the name of white supremacy. So it says some of America's smartest men, including Robert Kiyosaki, investment guru and author of the personal finance book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, have some choice words for Executive Order 14067. So it would behoove you to listen to them. Of course, the elect, hopefully elect, we listen to the Most High, but we filter these things and see where we at in biblical prophecy. It says Kiyosaki called President Joe Biden's signed executive order the most treasonous act in U.S. history. Now, we know that, so the word treason goes into being a traitor. So Joe Biden is a ultimate traitor to the shadow government who runs this country and the entire earth through the money system. The Jewish man, Rockefellers and Rothschilds, the Illuminati shadow government. So and then the main priority of the president is supposed to be what? Protect its people, his citizens, the American citizens. But when he was selected by the shadow government to be the next president after Trump, I had said that he's going to be worse than Trump because he's a liberal. Liberals are more free flowing and they're all about change, and they're free flowing and going into the next phase of change under Satan that's going to be implemented amongst the citizens. And Trump, he's a conservative, a Republican, right? Republicans are more conservative, and they're more resistant to change, but they are conservative in their founding fathers, the serpents, George Washington and Andrew Jackson, and who else? Abraham Lincoln and someone else I'm forgetting, but the principles of Edomite supremacy and over the top of the slaves. And they want to keep everything as original to their beginning here as possible. So basically Biden is selling out his people up a stream to this new digital currency that's about to occur. It says the most treasonous act in U.S. history and the creation of central bank digital currencies, or CBDC, as communism in its purest form, encouraging Americans to stay awake. So we know that this country has been communist since the international bankers, the so-called Jewish people, have taken over with the Federal Reserve Bank back in 1913, and slowly but surely gained more and more power and control over this country through the money system. When they took away the gold and made debt, because the dollar was backed by gold, they took away the gold standard around 1972, and then money was backed by nothing but other than debt notes. It was just backed by debt. So reading on, says he is joined by Jim Rickards, another economist, investor, and former CIA official, who is calling it a step toward the end of cash, the greenback, in circulation since the founding fathers. the new digital tokens, can be turned off if the government doesn't like what you're doing. Rickards has 4 decades of experience on Wall Street, so that's what this is all going to. If they don't like what you're doing, if you're not complying with whatever Satanist agenda that they have forth, then they can delete you or turn off your financial ability to buy or sell, and eliminate you from the new digital society and digital economy. Rickards criticized CBDC and labeled it as Bitcoin's evil cousin. So we know Bitcoin. That's why I never got into it, because eventually all roads lead to the MOTB, that the mark. And because whether however much money you make through the Bitcoin, either they're gonna either do away with it, or they're gonna lock it down and then link it directly to those things that go into your hand to be able to buy and sell, and say if you want to continue to use this Bitcoin money you've earned, then you're going to have to go ahead and now get this thing injected in you where you'll be able to now use those funds now. So, but this is Bitcoin's evil cousin. He also exposed the supposed singular event called C-Day, which according to him will take place on December 13th, 2022, and will disrupt the traditional financial systems in the U.S. So it says next chapter, or the next paragraph says, he said when what he calls C-Day happens, paper money would be worthless and the U.S. dollar would crash. He further added that consumer spending and access to basic needs will also be restricted, and people holding too much money would be penalized. So it's just like somebody saying, someone that has 100 guns telling you that have 3 guns that you have one too many guns. So they hold out the bank, and the government hold all the money, all the world's wealth, but then they're going to regulate and tell you how much money you should have. Ultimate hypocrites. So this is all about ultimate financial control. First and foremost, you must sell your soul and guarantee your future to have thermonuclear fire in it, just to be able to continue to buy and sell. And then he can cut it off at any time that he want if he don't like what you're doing. So it's a pretty crappy deal. It says Executive Order 14067, titled Ensuring Responsible Development of Digital Assets, includes developing policy plans and the organization of federal regulators. So it says here, ensuring responsible development of digital assets. So it's a very wicked and evil thing that's being instituted, but it's nothing responsible, in doing this. This is very irresponsible. But they label evil things as a good thing. They label good titles on their evil doings. So we'll get Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So they're prescribing grievousness, because the people can be cut off and turned off at any point once they sell their soul and take their technology that's going to be connected to the digital currency. And then we'll go to Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So that's what they're doing. They're labeling this as something good and positive and responsible, when it's actually the exact opposite. It's bitter and it's wicked and dark. Psalms 94 and 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Because we know Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, the shadow government, Illuminati, Rockefellers and Rothschilds, and everyone in confederate with them are the workers of iniquity, and they are the evildoers that pushes all of these laws of Satan and the citizens, it trickle down to them and make them make a decision, have to sell their soul just to live their normal life. As I made a video entitled that, you will have to sell your soul just to live your normal life. Psalms 94:20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law. So they're framing this mischief, and his mischief goes into wickedness and iniquity. Let's go ahead and get it to confirm it. That mischief right here, toil, trouble, labor, trouble, mischief, toil, labor. And go on here with the other linked words right here, wickedness, right here, iniquity. Iniquity is sin. So they're framing sin and wickedness by laws. And the guy, one of these economists, is calling it C-Day, December 13th, in which Biden is going to mandate that day an unrighteous decree to make cash, to quote unquote protect the people from cash. And that's going to be when the digital currency and the there's a strong likely chance when the MOTB, which is the mark that goes into your hand or in your head to be able to make purchases and buy and sell, go to work. And these cars are going to become all electric cars because they're doing away with the selling of gas powered vehicles, and they want all the cars by a certain date, I think like 2030 or 2035, all cars to be electric. And you won't be able to get into those cars unless you have a particular device in your hand to open those doors and to be able to drive, to go to your job and get your money to buy and sell. So it's all coming together, coming full circle. All of the pieces of the puzzle are slowly but surely coming all together, and how they about to do everything. And it's all coming to light now that they've been doing in the shadows, preparing. And now it's being executed and put forth. So let's see what else we got. So that's pretty much about it. We'll go read here. Right here it says the International Monetary Fund said in a blog released last month that CBDCs can be a more effective solution compared to credit and debit cards, particularly in terms of energy efficiency. Depending on the specific details of how they are configured, CBDCs and some kinds of crypto assets can be more energy efficient than much of the current payment landscape, including credit and debit cards, the blog read. And we'll read this last paragraph here, get another precept and close out. It says, notes Rickards, thanks to Section 4 of Biden's executive order calling for urgent research into developing the digital dollar, I believe the US dollar, the standard of the world since 1792, will be replaced by a new currency, the digital dollar. And that's what? It's the mark. So get a little bit more. It says, I call the digital dollar Biden bucks because I want him to take full credit for what I consider to be crimes. So, they're all criminals, and the elites of the criminals and fugitives of the earth, the Edomite so-called white race, are selling them upstream to the chief leader of the Edomites, the so-called Jewish Rockefellers and Rothschilds that runs the shadow government. And so this word C-Day, that means cashless day. So that's the day that cash will be done away with. And then D-Day, digital day, is going to be born. So cash basically is going to be the death of cash and the birth of digital cash, which is going to be operated strictly through the thing in your hand. And we'll go ahead and close out with that. So Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's what's coming up soon. So it's looking like, so it's a countdown. 3 months, 10 days from right now, September 3rd, 2022, is when the beginning phases of the digital society, the digital currency, is going to be implemented, and the official beginning phases of Jacob's trouble will begin. But the elect will be preserved through it all. Just stay strong, stay prayed up, read, pray for forgiveness, repent, clear your house, clean your house, meaning your vessels, your spirit. Get these demons off of us that try to bring us back into the world, so that we can be destroyed when this happens. And pray for forgiveness, and just have the faith of the Messiah, Yahushua. So I hope this video was edifying. Till next video, I say, Shalom.